we'll take off from the previous question. What are the best types of properties to invest in, either in land, apartments, or commercial properties? And why should they invest in those ones that you advise?
Okay. So basically, it depends on whatever the goal of the person is. Particularly if you have to put into consideration the person's age. What is it? What's the goal? What's the plan of the person? The person planning to come back home to fully back to Nigeria at a particular time, maybe short time, or the person is not even coming back anytime soon. But usually, my advice is to embrace real estate as investment, rather than a means of shelter. There's a course that I carved for myself, and it's saying why the rich they use real estate as a means to create, wealth and also retain that wealth. But the poor they only see real estate as a means to shelter, where I'll just lay my head. All right, but the rich people they don't have to sleep more than one bed, but they use their money to create wealth and also protect that wealth. So that being said, then if your goal is real estate investment where you can get good returns, all of them are okay. You can buy land and wait for capital appreciation and flip it. You can buy rental properties and start making money immediately. Buy an apartment in Lagos, for example. Now, own apartment, a two-bedroom apartment, for example, in High in Lagos is highly okay. You can use that for short lets and start making money right away. You can use that for annual rent. Statistics says that 98.5% of Lagosians are actually living on rent. You can see that's a large market for you. You're an investor. That's a very, very large market. 98.5% of Lagosians are living in rented houses.
Wow.
So you can buy apartments, use it for rent. You can buy commercial properties, all right? Business areas everywhere. People are looking for shop, people are looking for office spaces, and all those things are what will give you, good return on investment immediately. Especially if, for example, you want to start making money right away.
Right away.
Want to be earning immediately, go ahead and buy an apartment. All right, put it for short. Let's have them be managing it for you. Okay, get. I know there's this argument of there's this argument of I will have to wait for 20 years or 10 years before I can recoup my capital back. No. Real estate is not like that. It's generational wealth. You keep earning from it, and if eventually you're tired of earning, then go and sell the house and get your capital back. As a matter of fact, when you sell by that time, you will have appreciated.
Right.
Okay, so that is just it basically. But my advice is that if you want to buy land in areas that you know that they have high prospect, high potential for growth, so that they can resell them in the future. Or you buy apartments, use it for short lays, for rentals, or buy commercial properties. A lot of people are looking for shops, they are looking for office spaces everywhere.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your feedback. I want to ask these questions because it was one of the issues that someone recently discussed with me about several demolitions that happens in Lagos State, Nigeria. How can someone who lives in diaspora avoid this kind of issues? You started by getting into some of these conversation before when you mentioned anyone seeking to invest in the property should ask for a C of O, perhaps get a governor's consent, and several other things. Do the survey, ensure that you get the deed of assignment and the title. You said a lot of things. How can someone who lives abroad avoid some of those issues? This is just another question to support what you just asked. Perhaps it will help someone who have that question also get their question answered.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much, sir. So let me quickly say also that not all property has a COO. The most important thing is to ensure that the property you are buying is free. The land specifically that you are buying is free from government acquisition, free from litigation, free from omonile wahala. You can get a land that what basically what you are collecting is a survey and deed of assignment. Then you can perfect your title to COO.
So it means that if someone doesn't get a C of O, maybe all you have on the land is the survey.
Yes.
What is the advice? Because what I would think is, because this happens to a lot of people, personally, it has happened to me. I bought a land. All I got on that land was the survey. This was more in a rural environment. So, but one thing I ensure that they do is to continue to process, for the documentation with the government, the C of O with the government. So what is your advice? If you don't necessarily get a C of O, but you have the survey, what should be your quickest approach to ensuring you get everything done with the papers for the land?
Okay, all right. So thank you very much, sir. So now, basically, majority of real estate companies in Nigeria, what they promise and most people are delivering is the fact that even by the time you get that land, what you're basically getting is survey and deed of assignment. But they are taking charge of doing the CFO for that land. So that means the entire estate will have a global CFO. So they are the one that are now holding responsible in case of anything. Okay, but currently right now in Lagos now, if I'm going to advise any diaspora to buy land in Lagos State, I would advise that when you get, especially in certain areas, make sure the land you're buying is either CFO, either government allocation, or it has a decision on it. Okay, that especially other government allocation, also because that gives you peace of mind. And when it comes to the issue of demolition, what has been happening, sir, is the fact that majority of people are not doing their due diligence, not engaging the service of surveyor, okay? And because we can also not rule out that there are bad eggs in the system.
That's right.
There are cases whereby even the developer can engage service of a surveyor. The surveyor can chart that from point A to point B is the land that you have to build, which is free, which is fine.
Right.
But there is a little bit extension, especially now that maybe close to water, close to canal, close to waterfront, a little bit extension, which that extension belongs to the government. You're not supposed to go there. But because we see that our government, they will not do anything, they will now encroach to that place and add it to their own and build on it. And then what you have seen most of the time is the demolition you have seen usually now in Lagos that I've experienced are actually demolition that is on the right of way. Some of those houses is where they will even demolish are just the extension, not the entire building, but that extension that is sitting on the land that you are not supposed to build is where they will demolish and leave the remaining one.
Right.
So that is it. So for people not to fall victim of these things, it's important that. But the challenge is that, like you said the other time, most people, when you want to buy a house, for example, they don't want to engage the service of professional because they don't want to spend. You want to buy a house for 200 million naira. You are scared of spending 100,000, 200,000 to do your due diligence.
Right.
Because we feel like, what if I spend the 200,000 naira and then it is wrong? That means the money has gone. What you should do in that situation is that make sure you stick to one property lawyer. You can always find a way around it and say, come, I want to get house. I'm ready to get a house. If this one didn't put through, we know how you can probably renegotiate another fee with that person.
Right.
But to actually throw caution in the air and say no, it's not right.
Right.
It's not right. So
I really appreciate your emphasis on using professionals. And I also want to say that anyone who lives in diaspora, especially those who live in the United States, decide whether you want to do the right thing. Decide whether you want to use the right people. Decide whether you want to spend your money in the right places. Sometimes people have that money, but I mean, it's also character deficiency on the part of people who are looking to even buy the properties. If you use a professional, of course, if you are using the service of a real estate agent, you're going to pay. So why not pay and get the right property with the right document in the right place? But people also wanted to go to the back door. Sometimes some people don't want to pay the right fee. You gave an example. You want to invest 50 million naira. And you are scared of paying 5 million or 10 million. Maybe documentation or for agency fee or whatever. So, people should make that decision to do the right thing. With that being said, I want to get to the sixth question. How can someone abroad start and complete the property buying process without physically being in Nigeria? And I think this question speaks to the question of many diasporans in the United States who are looking to buy a property in Nigeria. And for instance, some may not have trusted persons in the country. Even those who have trusted persons, they still want to ensure that there is no issue from the beginning of the process to the completion of the deal. So what do you have to say to that, sir?
On a lighter note, sir, I would say the person to reach out to TDL, Diasporans Lab, and then from Diaspora Lab, the person can reach out to someone like that. You will not have any problem. But that's by the side. Basically, get a realtor, professional realtor. Get somebody who you can, people that have name to protect. People that they have integrity to protect. Honestly, that want to be, and how you know somebody that want to be in the business for long is you will see that from their consistencies in what they are doing. You will see them showing their faces. All right, you will see them. You will see them showing their faces. Probably, even educating you about real estate and all of those things. So then after that, you can go on the virtual tour with the person. We've actually answered this question even in the process of our past questions. Deal with trusted real estate companies.
Right.
Okay, like I said, that transaction is three-way. You have your agent in the middle, you have the company, and you have you. Every correspondence will go to you, then they will just copy the agent.
Right.
So there is no way your agent will now want to do any mago. You will always be in the copy. You always know.
I also think we should get to this. If I am not in Nigeria today, can I get the document to my land sent to me, emailed to me, or sent to me by mail? These are some of the questions.
As I speak currently, if I'm not mistaken, I have a couple of people that their land documents delivered to them.
To the address.
In fact, immediately you buy a property, the company is supposed to send you a mail, an acknowledgement letter. Even if you have not even paid for all, you have not even made, maybe it's initial deposit you made. They'll send an acknowledgement letter, send you an invoice, send you a contract of say into your mail, even send you deed of, you can even get a copy of a deed of assignment in your mail. Right. Then the physical copy can then be sent to you. I've done that severally.
Right.
Yes, sir.
That's
I've done that separately. So again, then like we said, talk about do your due diligence. After your due diligence, then you can go ahead to complete your transactions.
Yeah. Thank you so much for that answer. You are the CEO and the lead consultant for Simna Homes and Properties.
Yes, sir.
What advice would you give to someone buying their first property? I believe for everyone who are interested in purchasing a property, getting a home, especially being their first, they're always very excited and careful on what to do. So what is your advice for that person who may be listening to us or who will see this video, who is looking to buy his or her first property? What is your advice from that person, especially people living in the diaspora?
Okay, sir. So my number one advice is that, number one, after you have decided your budgets, you've decided your goal. And then my advice is that please make sure you deal with trusted individuals, trusted real estate companies. Do your due diligence. To an extent, you can verify certain information online, right, so that your money will not just, you will not just go and throw your money in the hands of scammers. And then again, my advice would be, especially if the person is still very young like us, the person should be looking at real estate investment, not real estate as a shelter. Okay, like I said, Nigeria is growing. Real estate market in Nigeria right now is highly booming. Okay, so if you are buying land, sports prime locations, places that you know that the government attention are going to, don't have $100,000 and say, I want to go and buy land in Ikoyi. If you buy land in Ikoyi, what's your plan? Do you want to build house there and be renting it, or do you want to buy a house there and rent? But if you're looking at, you want to buy land for investment, go to places that you know that they are developing, because those places, They are not yet at the peak. There is nothing like price ceiling in those places yet. So if that means if you buy land of 50 million naira, land currently in Ikoina is in billions. Now the question: how many people can afford to buy land in billions? Right. But if you buy land of 50 million naira, that land has the potential of growing to billions. So by the time you are single appreciated to 200 million, you can see somebody that will buy it from your hand. Appreciated to 500 million, you can see somebody that will buy it from your hand. Okay, so my advice is that you should decide on prime location. Go to prime location, places you know that Lagos, for example, now Ibeju-Lekki is the new economy of Lagos. The reasons are not far-fetched. We have airport coming to that place. We have them going to the refinery there already. We have Lekki Seaport. We have the coastal road passing that place. That is from Victoria Island to Ibeju-Lekki. Even the coastal road in between it, there's a railway. That means that the transportation system is getting easier already. People can just leave Ibeju-Lekki and enter train straight to Victoria Island. The coastal road is leading from Lagos all the way to Calabar. Okay, so those are places that you should be looking at. And if you don't engage the service of the realtor to actually give you a proper advice, you will not know. You will not know where things are happening.
Right.
And we thank God for internet, we thank God for social media. Majority of things are happening that even you guys in diaspora, you're the one that tell me, this is where I want to go, because you already know what is happening there. All right, so that's that. Okay. Again, like I said, depending on the person's age and the person's goal, right. Okay, you should make sure you embrace real estate as investment. And then maybe if you're thinking of retirement, then maybe you'll be thinking of getting a retirement home. All right, and that means you probably want to, you can then decide that you want to go and buy a house in a very developed area. And then again, not that you rule out developed area outrightly. You can buy apartment there, like you said, put it on renters. Okay, you can buy. I saw a video last week. There were people that were queuing to be interviewed they want to rent that particular house. I don't know whether it's a company they want to rent their apartment out. And people were queuing to be interviewed before they give them the house. Can you imagine, sir?
Wow.
People were queuing as if you are queuing to be interviewed for a job. But just for you to even bring out your money and give someone that I want to rent your house, you are queuing. That's to tell you the gap, that the opportunity that we have in Lagos State right now and in Nigeria. Wow. That if you're in diaspora, you can buy apartment, you can buy off-plan projects that you have time to even pay installments. Right. And after that, put it on rent, let it start making money for you immediately. That is it, sir. Thank you.
We have gotten to the high point of this conversation. And I mean, if you are listening now, this is the time when you should take your pen and your paper. And this is the question I have. This is probably going to be the last question. What are the current offers that you have for someone looking to buy a property today, right now? What are the current offers you have? What are those prime locations, like you mentioned, that they can invest? What are the current prices that you also have on these offers that someone who is willing to, who has interest in buying a property today can buy? Then another thing is, do they necessarily have to have all the money at hand, or can they pay for these properties by installments? So this is a part that I think you should take time to answer. I'm also
right.
with my pen.
I'll start from the top.
Yes.
I used to say that real estate companies in Nigeria, they are blessing in disguise to anyone that wants to own property easily and hassle-free. That you don't have to have all the money before you start. Once you make an initial deposit for any property, choose a payment plan, 6 months, 9 months, 1 year, and just pay easily. Before you know what is happening, majority of our clients, that is how they are able to acquire a lot of properties. You don't need to have all the money at once. Okay, because if you wait for the wind, how do they put it now? If you wait for the wind or the rain, you hardly do anything.
Yeah.
All right. So current offers that we have are, especially for diasporans, I usually used to love if they invest around the international airport, okay, which is in Ibeju-Lekki. Because just for example, imagine you own a land or you eventually develop that land into a house, around an airport, that means you can come. You don't need to go through all the stress of
Yes.
traffic and all to book a flight and travel back. So we have offers around the Bejuleki currently. We just launched one estate that we're planning on building bungalows there, and at the same time we're selling land there. So we're selling land there for 300 square meter, which is going for 18 million. And then with just 2 million initial deposit, you can own a 300 square meter and you can spread your payment for 6 months, And then we have 500 square meter, which is going for 25 million naira. Also with 2 million naira initial deposit, you can also take advantage of that. Then we have bungalow projects there. Those bungalows are off-plan projects. So all you need to do is to make a down payment of 5 million naira. All right. And then a particular bungalow, 3-bedroom bungalow plus BQ will be allotted to you. And then as you keep paying, of course, we'll keep building for you to have your house. And again, we have offers in Ibadan. Now, if you cannot invest in Lagos State, come to Ibadan. Majority of people, I was going through internet, I think yesterday or day before, and somebody was saying that I would rather invest in Ibadan. And the truth is that a lot of people are moving to Ibadan right now. Okay, because of remote jobs, people, because of remote jobs now, many people are living in Ibadan. Many young people, Gen Z, millennials, they are booming, they are growing, they are growing themselves in Ibadan already. Okay, so we have offers in Ibadan. You can buy land in Ibadan. You can buy in acres. We have also in Ogun State. You can buy in acres. And come and probably build your retirement home in places like that. And even if you want to go into agricultural real estate, we can also handle those things for you.
Right.
We can also handle all those things for you. And if you want to buy apartment in developed areas like Lekki, the Lekki axis, housing in Lekki axis, also we have them available. All right. So I want you to be assured that if you engage us, we are not only going to help you to acquire these things, we're also going to help you to make sure that we are managing them for you properly. Okay, so even if you're having a problem that you want to buy a house and you're looking for who is going to manage this thing for us, no, our business is we sell, we invest, and of course, we can manage for you. Thank you very much, sir.
I mean, thank you for that information. The offers are very, very beautiful. You mentioned one that I think someone else may be interested in. You talked about the agricultural real estate. What
Yes,
do you
sir.
mean by that agricultural real estate? I think that's also a very good potential for investment. How feasible is that one for those who may be interested in agricultural real estate?
Okay, so when we talk about agricultural real estate, basically is we have service estates. That is fully service farm estates, meaning all you need to do is that the idea is if you buy your land and you're waiting for 5 years, you're waiting for 10 years before development fully comes to that area, and then probably you can resell. What are you going to be doing with that land within that period of time? So we're saying buy the land, utilize it for agricultural activities while you wait for capital appreciation or while you wait to develop on the land. And so you can decide on any kind of agricultural activity you want to practice. Currently, we have a client in the UK who owns one of our plots in Ibadan. And as I speak right now, maize is planted on that particular land. I think in a couple of weeks now it's going to be harvested, sell, and we send his proceeds to him. So what we are saying basically is that while you wait for your land to keep appreciating or there's development in that area, use that land. You can plant maize, you can plant oil palm, you can plant cassava, you can do anything. And there are farm workers who are doing all these things for you. And during harvest, the harvest is sell, and you make money. And if you want to maybe harvest to sell or harvest to use, all depends on you. That is the idea of agricultural real estate, sir.
Thank you so much, sir. It's been a lot of information, useful information, and I believe that those who are listening and those who will also see this video will learn one or two from on how to invest in real estate in Nigeria. This is something that we intend to do more and more and turn even into a series where people can come and learn how to invest in Nigeria. And I also want to mention again that you can reach out to Mr. Sam Olajide. I don't know if you want to provide your phone numbers phone number for people who may want to call you, email address. You can put that in the comment section. I want you to just put that in the comment section, on the chat box, please. Just put that in the chat, or you can call it while you speak, because someone may see it and want to get in contact with you. What's your phone number? What's your email address? And so that they can reach out to you if they want to make that first deal, take that first bold step today.
All right. So basically, my WhatsApp, if you want to reach out through a WhatsApp, is 090. That's +234 9024695158. And my email address is sminahomes@gmail.com. You can reach out to us on sminahomes@gmail.com. And of course, on Instagram is sminahomes_properties, and also on Facebook is also sminahomes_properties. Thank you very much, sir.
I want you to reiterate your number, because
so my number
can see this and get back to you. Yes.
+234 9024695158.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, sir.
We've seen you can also check the chat box to see the information. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you for joining us today. We believe that this is taking us to even bigger levels, greater levels, where we have people trust us, believe in us, and also invest back in Nigeria. And like you said, one thing that really touched me as a person, with all sincerity, that you mentioned today, is that beyond investments, Africans in diaspora should begin to see buying properties in Nigeria as a way of making impact. Buying a property in Nigeria is also a way of extending impact, impacting other people's lives, providing food to other people. I mean, look at the one we talked about on agricultural real estate investment. Imagine growing food on your land till the time it will appreciate. That can also put food on the tables of some other people in Nigeria. I'm sure you don't want to grow your crops and want to bring them to the United States to come and eat. You also want to sell it back home in Nigeria. That's just a very small part of it. Also think about that property. If you, for instance, you have a rental property, look at how you are providing shelter for other people. Beyond the money, your own investment is also impacting one life. Then if you have one for yourself, even if you buy a property in Nigeria now, you can as well say you are not going to live there immediately. You may have someone living there till you want to live there. That's also a way of impacting other people's life. You're also contributing to the economy. There's a chunk of the economy that Africans in diaspora contribute to the Nigerian economy. It means you are making impact in the Nigerian economy as well. And that's why somebody has said that Nigeria must not overlook the impact of diasporans in the Nigerian community. Talk of every sphere of the Nigerian state. The nation is being affected by Africans who are in diaspora. Talk of I mean, when you look at the economy, when you look at the culture, when you look at many things that Africans in diaspora contribute to, to nation building. So we can't take that part of impact outside of what we are talking about. Because again, you will see that one thing that remains true is that Africans in diaspora are impacting the nation financially, economically, I mean, in several spheres of life. So see the impact, see the investment part of it. Of course, we know that investment is paramount, because by buying a property, by investing in Nigeria, you are also, investing in your own future, investing in people's lives. So we shouldn't take that lightly at all. I want to again say thank you to everyone who have joined us today and those who will be watching this video We really appreciate you, and we hope that you will join us in our next seminar series. I want to take this moment to appreciate Mr. Sam Olajide for joining us and answering those questions in a very professional way. We know that every words that we have spoken today, they are seeds that we also germinate. They are seeds that will impact life. Because thank God for the world we are today is a global village. Every words that we have spoken today will be watched by millions of people. And we don't know who these words will likely impact. Thank you, and we hope to see you another time.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right, bye.
All right, sir. Yes.